Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us here on Montana This Morning. I'm Augusta McDonald.
And I'm Louis Storch. Hopefully having a good start to your Thursday. Almost done with this week, Augustin. I was just saying a couple minutes ago, I don't know if it's because it's the week after the holidays or whatever,
right.
But it's kind of been a long week. I felt kind of tired, so ready for the weekend coming up here soon.
Ready for a good break this weekend for sure. Yeah, it feels like after Thanksgiving, it's oh, it's over? That was it?
I know, it's kind of like a letdown, right? But at least we have Christmas to look forward to.
But we have Christmas to look forward to.
That's coming up. Yeah, that's coming up very soon. We're going to try to bring in some snow showers. I want a white Christmas so bad. So we're going to try to bring in some heavier amounts of snow. The thing is, though, this week and pushing into the weekend, we're going to have several systems move through, but they're going to be weak systems, not strong. We're really not talking about any snow in the valleys, if anything, just a couple inches over the mountains in the high passes there. So we'll kind of talk about that as we move throughout the morning here. Here's some other forecast headlines for you. We have a weak high pressure in place, so drier for today with some sunshine. Then, like I mentioned, another system with some light rain and snow tonight and into tomorrow morning. And then another system for the weekend. Colder air as well, but again, like I mentioned, not a lot of snow is expected as these move through. Here's some high temperatures for today: 39 Missoula, Kalispell, and Polson, 40 in Hamilton.
Alrighty, thank you, Louis. Although there's no specific action on the table, some people are worried grizzlies along the northern continental divide are about to lose protection as a threatened species, a step they see as ruinous for the bears' future. Others believe there are so many bears it's getting tough to have them as neighbors without more state control. It's those complicated and often overlapping views that are putting more pressure on federal, state, and tribal managers.
There had been indications this week's Missoula meeting of the Northern Continental Divide Ecosystem Subcommittee would draw a crowd, and it did. Although the business agenda was cleared quicker than scheduled, people from a variety of backgrounds wanted to talk about the grizzlies' future in and around Glacier, the Bob, and the Front. That included people sporting badges calling for the bears to stay listed, saying it's premature and shouldn't be taken away until there are several thousand bears, not just several hundred.
Since we are all from a common creator, a common mystery, we're children of that common mystery, and since we're all children of that common mystery, we are brothers and sisters. It's that simple. If we choose to accept our responsibilities towards one another, we will protect the bear. If we defy this responsibility, we will let the bear perish, and we will not be too long after the bear.
Despite growing accounts of bear conflicts with ranchers and hunters, especially on the Front, they believe steps can be taken to keep grizzlies and people safe.
Tell them to go hunt somewhere else. I mean, if you live in Montana and you hunt here, or you come from outside this state to hunt here, you have to deal with the fact that we have grizzly bears. Carry bear spray. I mean, there are solutions to this.
If the bears have easy access to all these things, of course they're going to come down and have a picnic. But if you make it harder for them and they have negative consequences, they're going to learn to stay away from those areas.
However, ranchers and residents want more help.
If we take care of the problem bears, more of the good bears are going to stay alive.
While much of the discussion here was about delisting of the grizzlies, when the Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee meets in Missoula in a couple of weeks, they'll actually be looking at the conservation strategy, how to manage the bears regardless of what happens to their protection status.
That's work planned between now and next summer.
Produce a final strategy, a conservation strategy, and then bring it to IGBC to approve, and then for the chairman and the directors to sign. That document, that conservation strategy, is a real important document because it's how we're going to take care of grizzly bears into the future in Montana. We're all pretty excited about it.
Judging from Wednesday's turnout, it's not just the scientists and biologists that are getting excited. In Missoula, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.
The larger Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee will meet for 2 days in Missoula on December 12th and 13th. Missoula coverage this morning. Faced with a growing problem of people living in recreational vehicles in city right-of-way, the Missoula City Council is considering whether to adopt a ban against urban camping.
Some of these folks are creating noise and creating other disturbances that are of issue for neighborhood stability. And of course, we're talking about parking in the right-of-way, so we're always concerned about the safe movement of traffic.
While staff told the council yesterday that 99% of people caught illegally in RVs parked in the city right-of-way will voluntarily leave, they say the city needs a specific ordinance to deal with the real problem cases where people refuse to leave. The proposal would leave exceptions for limited RV parking outside a host home or for people staying for sporting events and other special events. Council members support the idea of a tool for police and code compliance officers, but they want to proceed carefully so it doesn't criminalize people who are homeless.
There's obvious public safety issues involved with, people disposing of human waste and gray water in the right of way, but then there's also the homelessness issue, and it's all connected as a big problem.
The City Council has scheduled a public hearing for December 18th. On the Flathead, affordable housing is an issue in nearly every community across the Treasure State. But the Montana Board of Housing says it's especially pressing in northwest Montana. That's why the Courtyard Apartments in Kalispell were chosen by the Montana Board of Housing to receive a $4.5 million housing credit for a 32-unit acquisition rehabilitation project. The housing credit offers an opportunity to expand affordable housing to those who qualify as homeless or low income. The total project investment of just under $5 million will result in 58 Montana jobs. And Kalispell isn't the only community to receive a housing credit. The board awarded more than $27 million in federal housing credits to various organizations around the state. The executive director of the Montana Board of Housing says though they had 18 communities apply for a credit but can only award 5. Billings, Butte, Lewistown, and Livingston also received housing credits this year. And the Kalispell Vet Center is inviting the community to check out their expanded center during their open house event this Friday. The event will start at noon, and organizers say it will give the community the opportunity to see their renovations, meet the staff, learn more about their programs, events, and activities. The center offers services to all veteran service members, Guard members, and reservists who deployed to a combat zone or experienced military sexual trauma while in the service. Also, non-perishable food items will be collected and donated to Northwest Montana Veterans Food Pantry for distribution this holiday season. The center serves Flathead, Lake, Lincoln, and Sanders counties. And in Health Watch this morning, if the current trends continue, more than half of American children will become obese by the age of 35. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine says weight gain in childhood starts a pattern that's difficult to change. Researchers say schools and communities need to promote healthy foods and exercise at an early age. For patients with rheumatoid arthritis, being overweight may affect how well they respond to treatment. Doctors in New York found that after therapy, patients who were overweight were 25% less likely to stay in remission. Obese patients were 47% less likely. And doctors say they still do not have enough evidence on whether it's a good idea to take vitamin D during pregnancy. Researchers in Toronto found supplements increased vitamin D levels in both the mother and the umbilical cord, but they could not confirm the higher doses led to healthier women and babies. In Western Montana, meteorologist Lewis Storch joins us in the Storm Tracker Weather Center. Lewis.
All right, thank you, Augusta. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a good start to your Thursday. Temperatures right now on the cooler side, but overall not too bad. It's what we would expect here in Montana for this time of year. 20s, even some teens out there. We're at 29 in Billings. We're at 18 in Bozeman, 15 in Butte, 23 here in Dillon. And then as we move in a little bit closer, we're at 25 in Thompson Falls, 24 St. Regis. How about 28 in Hamilton? So overall not too bad. 17 Phillipsburg, 16 in Seeley Lake, 15 in Sula. So definitely some cold spots out there. Grab those jackets, bundle up before you head out the door this morning. So what I want to do now is go ahead and time out the next couple days for you using the Jetstream forecast. I love this map here because it does really good at showing what our temperatures are going to go, and it does a good job of telling us what to expect as we roll throughout at least a week or so. So we'll do that here. First, I'll go ahead and stop this morning at around 6 a.m. Notice where our Jetstream is. It's pretty much cutting the country in half, so no drastic changes. Most of the country is seeing really average temperatures. Nothing too cold, nothing too warm, as we're in the upper 30s and lower 40s here in the Pacific Northwest. Now, we're going to see a little bit of a change as we roll into the weekend. The jet stream's going to dip slightly. See that cooler air moving in from Canada. So by Sunday, in the beginning part of next week, we're going to get these temperatures highs. It looks like upper 20s and lower 30s as some cooler air moves in. But what we're going to see happen by the end of next week is that doesn't last too long. Watch as we get this major shift. By Tuesday, the jet stream starts to build with a ridge out west. Arctic air plunges in over here towards the east. We're talking about next weekend, late next weekend. Highs only in the teens and 20s here in the east. We get this ridge building out west. Now, as the colder air, notice where the jet stream is still moving in from the north. So we're talking about temperatures upper 30s, lower 40s in Montana. So not a big warm up, but one thing I noticed when I see this is expect some fog, patchy fog to develop under this high pressure, and a pretty dry trend as we get late next week and pushing into the weekend. We can kind of see that here in your 7-day forecast for Missoula. So notice temperatures upper 30s, lower 40s with some showers this weekend. Then as we roll into the beginning of next week, we get that dip in the jet stream, and that's when the temperatures are going to drop down to around average actually. Kalispell 39 today, 40 on Friday, 39 Saturday, 32 on Monday and Tuesday for a high, and then Hamilton will see temperatures in the upper 30s and lower 40s through Saturday, then temperatures drop into the 30s by Sunday.
Alrighty, thank you, Lewis. We'll be right back after this, but first here's a look at your birthday shout-outs.